Oh, foul!
Oh. 2 free throws. I must say the free throws are the best aspect of my game. Career 99% free throw shooter.
He kisses the ball for good luck. And he shoots and he scores. The bony anatomy of the foot and ankle include the calcaneus, transverse tarsal joint, cuboid, tarso-metatarsal joint, phalanges, talus, navicular, lateral cuneiform bone, intermediate cuneiform bone, medial cuneiform bone, metatarsal bones. The ligamentous anatomy of the foot on the medial side includes the deltoid ligament, and on the lateral side includes the posterior and anterior inferior tibiofibular ligaments, the calcaneofibular ligament, and the anterior talofibular ligament.
The bony anatomy of knee is the femur, the patella, the tibia, and the fibula. The ligamentous anatomy of the knee includes the anterior cruciate ligament, fibular collateral ligament, posterior cruciate ligament, tibial collateral ligament, and patellar ligament. Also in the knee are the lateral and medial meniscus.
The bony anatomy of the hip includes the femur, ilium, ischium, and pubis. The ligaments of the hip are the iliofemoral, pubofemoral, and ischiofemoral ligaments. Also at the hip, on the head of the femur, is the ligament of teres. Located in the lower leg are the following muscles: peroneus longus, peroneus brevis, peroneus tertius, anterior tibialis, posterior tibialis, gastrocnemius, and soleus. In the upper leg are the quadriceps muscles and the hamstring muscles. The quadriceps include the rectus femoris, vastus medialis, vastus intermedius, vastus lateralis, and the hamstrings include the biceps femoris, semimembranosus, and the semitendinosus. Also located in the upper leg are the sartorius, gracilis, and tensor fascia lata. The muscles of the hip include the adductor magnus, adductor longus, adductor brevis, pectineus, and the ilius psoas, which is made of the psoas major and the iliacus.
The bony anatomy of the shoulder includes the humerus, scapula, clavicle, acromion process, glenoid fossa, and coracoid process. The ligamentous anatomy of the shoulder includes the coracoclavicular ligament, acromioclavicular ligament, coracoacromial ligament, the coracohumeral ligament, the joint capsule, including the glenohumeral ligaments. The muscular anatomy of the shoulder includes the subscapularis, the supraspinatus, the infraspinatus, teres minor, teres major, and the deltoid. The bony anatomy of the elbow includes the olecranon fossa, lateral epicondyle, olecranon process, humerus, capitulum, radial head, radial tuberosity, radius, ulna, and the radial notch. The ligamentous anatomy of the elbow includes the radial collateral ligament, the ulnar collateral ligament, and the annular ligament. The anatomy of the wrist and hand includes the ulna, the radius, the carpals, the metacarpals, and the phalanges. The ligamentous anatomy of the hand and wrist includes the transverse carpal ligament, the palmar intercarpal ligament, the lunotriquetral ligament, short palmar ligaments, transverse carpal ligament, and the radial collateral ligament. The muscular anatomy of the arm includes the biceps brachii, brachialis, brachioradialis, pronator teres, flexor carpi radialis, palmaris longus, flexor carpi arnaris, supinator, flexor digitorum superficialis, pronator quadratus, flexor pollicus longus, flexor digitorum profundus. Phase 1 includes the quadricep muscles contracting eccentrically to control flexion of the knees, the gluteus maximus, hamstring muscles, and gluteus medius contracting eccentrically as the hip flexes. Shoulders are in a neutral position. Elbows are in slight flexion. This action is caused by the concentric contraction of the biceps brachii, brachialis, and radiobrachialis. The wrist is in a neutral position. The thumb is flexed by the flexor pollicus longus. The fingers are also flexed by the flexor digitorum superficialis, flexor digitorum profundus, and the flexor digiti minimi brevis in order to hold the ball. In phase 2, the quadricep muscles contract concentrically to extend the knee for the shot. The same muscles that were working eccentrically in phase 1 are now working concentrically to extend the hips. The pectoralis major, biceps brachii, coracobrachialis, and the anterior fibers of the deltoid contract concentrically to flex the glenohumeral joint, which also causes upward rotation of the scapula. The elbow is extended by the triceps brachii and the anconeus. The fingers and thumb are still flexed, holding the ball.
In phase 3, the knees, hips, and elbows are fully extended while the shoulder is still in flexion. As the ball is released, the extensor carpi radialis longus causes radial deviation of the wrist. The fingers are extended by the extensor digitorum, lumbricals, and extensor indicus. The thumb is extended by the extensor pollicis longus and the extensor pollicis brevis.